Indeed, emotional intelligence can be learned and developed. One of the ways of enhancing your emotional intelligence is to observe how you react to other people. You should not rush to judgment before you comprehend all of the facts. Avoid stereotyping. People like this breed biases and clog your judgment. Examine closely on the manner in which you interact with other people and try to empathize with them. Start being more open and accept the views of other people and needs. Then examine your workplace and determine if you seek attention for your accomplishments. While humility is a wonderful attribute, it does not imply that you lack self-confidence. Learn to give others a chance to shine by putting the focus on them and avoid worrying much about looking for praise. It is possible to develop emotional intelligence by doing self-evaluation. Start by determining your weaknesses by responding to the question of are you willing to acknowledge that you are not perfect and that you need to fix some areas to become a better person. Muster the courage to examine yourself honestly, as this can change your life. Then review how you respond to demanding situations. Some of the things to look out for could be that you get upset each time there is a delay or something does not conform to your plans. Review if you tend to get angry or blame others, even when it is not their fault. Remember that the ability to remain composed and in charge of challenging situations is highly valued. Learn to maintain your emotions under control when things seem uncontrollable. It is also important that you learn to take responsibility for your actions. For instance, apologize when you hurt the feelings of another person directly. Do not overlook what you did or seclude the person. If you make an honest attempt to rectify things, people are more willing to forgive and forget. Review how your actions will impact others prior to taking these actions. Put your place in the position of others if your decision will affect others. Ask yourself if you would prefer the same experience that you are about to subject others to. And all this is part of operationalizing emotional intelligence. Furthermore, begin to notice how you are feeling at any instance as a way of developing emotional intelligence. For instance, maintain a diary of the times that you are in a good mood at work. Understand that moods are contagious and that leaders of an organization define the weather in that organization. Ask yourself the kind of forecast that you are inviting at your workplace each day. By noticing when you are in a positive or negative mood, you will begin to handle your emotions. You can pause before reacting. Go further and imagine a performance conversation with your employee if you were in a negative state of mind, and make a comparison to when having the same exchange when in a positive state of mind. Determine what would change. Desirably, start working to change your emotional state by taking a walk, listening to music, venting to a coworker, or taking some deep breaths. You can also engage in any other action that assists you to avoid getting emotionally charged. Indeed, your emotional intelligence is not rigid. While changing reputation might be relatively easier, adjusting the internal emotional intelligence tends to be difficult. In other words, there is a likely mismatch between the inside feelings and the external feelings a person projects to the people around him. It is acceptable that some individuals are born shy and self-centered, while other persons are gifted with composure and soft skills. Fortunately, every human behavior is adjustable. Another encouraging piece of news is that emotional intelligence increases with age, even when there are minimal interventions. Effective coaching programs work. Fortunately, a well-formulated intervention program will help an individual attain as much as 25% with respect to improving emotional intelligence. The most trainable element of emotional intelligence is interpersonal skills, that can give 50% improvements. In this aspect, emotional intelligence can be treated as teaching social etiquette and negotiation. Stress management programs can yield as high as 35% improvement, where both the trainer and the candidate are committed. Various studies affirm that with sufficient coaching, individuals can become more altruistic, pro-social, and compassionate. High emotional intelligence attributes are likely to lead to enhanced levels of mental and physical health, as well as happiness. Improved marital relationships and social relationships are also attributed to enhanced emotional intelligence levels. The emotional intelligence programs can be more sophisticated and employ an eclectic approach. Seek accurate feedback. Agreeably, you can only work on your shortcomings if you get accurate feedback. Even though several inputs are critical for an effective training program, the most critical element is giving candidates accurate feedback. As seen, most individuals are unaware of how others perceive them, and this is common among managers. Your notion of how appealing you are is likely to be less accurate, and this is attributed to overconfidence or wishful thinking. Most individuals wrongly think that they are better than they actually are. For this reason, a good emotional intelligence training program should start with helping people comprehend what their real weaknesses and strengths are. The best outcomes can be realized by using reliable and valid evaluation methods, such as personality tests. Concerning feedback, it is important that you deliberately create an environment and personality that encourages others to voice their opinions on you. Naturally, we all want to hear positive descriptions of our behaviors and personality. Feedback is not a criticism, but rather a reflection of other people to us. Against this backdrop, it is critical that you do not attempt to disagree or victimize colleagues that voice feedback that portrays your weaknesses. A mistake that most individuals make is to interrupt the feedback and start justifying why they acted in the manner noted. Feedback is the complete picture that you painted out there, and the crowd is simply describing that picture. Techniques vary in efficacy. In trying to enlist for coaching to improve your emotional intelligence levels, appreciates that some techniques are more effective compared to others. Even though there is little evidence on the personal attributes of effective trainers, there is evidence of the approaches employed that deliver. Some interventions to improve emotional intelligence deliver more than others. Most of the high-impact approaches to enhance emotional intelligence fall under cognitive behavioral therapy. Efforts to improve psychological flexibility, which is the ability to acknowledge and handle challenging situations, are also effective. Meditation and relaxation are among the popular, but not necessarily effective approaches to improving emotional intelligence levels. Interventions created to improve self-esteem rarely deliver, even though the popular belief is that they work. Additionally, coaching is also an art, and the effectiveness of a program will also rely on the talent of the trainer. Similarly, some individuals are more trainable compared to others. It is highly possible for the best training methods for improving emotional intelligence levels to fail with particular individuals, and this is expected. There are unenthusiastic candidates. Clients with people skills, greater self-awareness, and more empathy are likely to be highly receptive to efforts to adjust their emotional intelligence levels. Individuals who are sensitive to criticism, worry about the future, and are insecure should be willing to change for better emotional intelligence levels. Arguably, evaluating the candidates' trainability levels can enhance the impact of the training. Some studies link employee demoralization and mental health issues to the behavior of their managers, and these inhibit productivity and employee retention levels. Most of the employee turnovers are triggered by stress. There is a possibility that managers embracing emotional intelligence training may lead to lessening the frequency of employee demoralization at the workplace. Learn to reduce negative emotions. Equally important, an individual should learn to manage adverse emotions that can overwhelm and impact the judgment. One of the ways of managing negative feelings is to change how you react to them. For instance, avoid making a negative conclusion outright when feeling strongly opinionated about the behavior of someone. Take an example where you feel that your friend is ignoring you for not picking up your call. You can also take the position that your friend is busy or far from the phone, or the phone could be on silent mode. By avoiding personalizing the behaviors of others, you will start to make an objective conclusion. Understand that a person acts or behaves because of the individual needs compared to the needs and feelings of others. By widening the perspective, one can lessen the possibility of misunderstanding. Additionally, learning to minimize the fear of rejection, and one proper way to handle the fear of rejection is to grant you multiple choices in critical situations. When you have several options, you will focus less on the outcome as you have alternatives. It is a good practice to be hopeful, but you must have contingency plans. For instance, when applying for a dream job, you are likely to be devastated if that was your only option if you are not employed. You can increase your options in the example given by applying for 3 exciting positions. Learn to stay calm. The ability to maintain composure can help manage stress. The manner in which we handle stress can make the difference between being reactive and assertive. The most advisable thing to exercise when under duress is to maintain calmness. Express difficult emotions and be assertive. It is sometimes necessary to define boundaries in life to communicate your stand. One of the situations that require taking a stand is when exercising the right to disagree or rejecting something without feeling remorseful, defining your priorities, and safeguarding yourself from harm and duress. Learn to recover from adversity. Accept that life is not straightforward, and mistakes and losses will arise. Additionally, understand that the manner we think, act, and feel in relation to challenges in life can create the difference between despair versus hope, as well as any other feelings. However, take each challenging situation as a learning moment. For instance, interrogate yourself on any benefits for thinking outside the preset boundaries, and you might realize you are likely to increase your choices and open up your feelings. Learn to express intimate emotions in relationships. Another way of developing emotional intelligence is to possess the ability to express and validate loving emotions to maintain close personal relationships. With time, you will learn to reciprocate constructive emotions and react positively when others return the feelings. One of the simple things that most people ignore is salutations and asking about how other people feel. From the adjectives that a person uses, you can effectively differentiate how the person is feeling and adjust your tone and attitude to be accommodative and comforting to the person. In addition, the body language bidding is important, and this includes things like smiling, eye contact, and patting the elbow. By learning to manifest positive emotions in a relationship, you enable the other person to return such reactions. Fortunately, positive emotions in a relationship and how to express them can be learned. One of the ways of enhancing your expression of positive emotions in a relationship is through the appropriate use of nonverbal cues of communication. For instance, project your voice when speaking about a formal issue, and lower the pitch of your voice when talking about a personal issue. For some people, shaking hands signals more than just greetings, as it shows confidence and willingness to hold a conversation. Without expressing your emotions, the other party in the relationship will not get a chance to read your feelings, and this will interfere with communication. Words and phrases such as, "I care about you," help verbalize your feelings. Some individuals find it embarrassing or feel uneasy about expressing their true feelings. Lack of manifesting your true feelings will only increase the chances of misunderstanding between you and others. In a relationship, lack of expression of feelings can strain and end the relationship, as each party cannot effectively read the mood and intentions of the other party, creating a disconnect in communication and feelings. Empathy. In addition to empathy, it is important also to visualize why the other person is happy or angry. Empathy should not be used only for negative emotions, such as anger and disappointment. It is also advisable to try and picture yourself as the other person who is contented or happy. By learning to position yourself in the other person's shoes, you will increase your understanding of the other person's life. A mistake that most eager learners of emotional intelligence make is to consider empathy only for negative emotions, such as anger and disappointment. Negative emotions are only a portion of the complete spectrum of human feelings, which include positive emotions. Exercise. A. Do you agree that emotional intelligence can be learned and applied? B. What do you consider are major barriers to you manifesting negative emotions? C. Emotions are a form of energy, and it is important to dissipate the energy rather than bottling it up. Do you agree with this statement? Why? D. Which leader or actor do you admire for the rare ability to remain calm, even when viciously attacked during a debate? Which leader do you know will even walk away from a debate due to colleagues or the panel asking uneasy questions